It's just one of those games. So I think the thing about Melee is like Melee is the kind of game where it's always been tricky to balance from a TO's perspective because it's the sort of game where you can have really variable lengths to your set based on the matchup. And so best of 5 can feel very natural for like a spacey set. But if you run a bunch of best of 5s and if you happen to get a bunch of, Samus Peach, Peach Puff, you're going to go way over time, right? And so it's always been a tough game to balance schedule-wise from that perspective, which I think is kind of just an artifact of the fact, we just have so much variety. Mm-hmm. Which, if, in some ways I think is actually just really cool. There's people that say things like, it's like, well, do you like Melee or do you just like Spaces? Do you just like Fox Falco, right? And I think that is kind of cool that you have, if you are the sort of person that like wants to play that slower style, you can still play Melee. Like you don't have to like play a slower game. You can play that style. And Komodo with the Jigglypuff, definitely one of the stronger, like more modern Jigglypuffs, I suppose, that I've kind of seen with some pretty strong tournament results lately. But at the same time, KJH, like, he used to be a master of this matchup. Back when he was playing Prince Abu all the time, I remember KJH would just, like, he used to do work on all the Michigan floaties, so.
Right.
Yeah, let's see if he remembers how to play the matchup. He did have a big win on Hungry Box recently.
Yep.
Got the winners, although HBox did take the tournament. Took his revenge with 2 sets and losers, but yeah, KJH definitely should know his stuff. But Komodo right now with the lead. That's actually barely does it on FOD. I actually wasn't sure.
KJH with we saw this yesterday against this set versus Magi and Plup Showdown, but just like all the shine stuff, that could have been a rest, I feel like, right?
Yeah, potentially. It's always tricky with that full DI, but I think that one, yes.
I think it's a true combo, but regardless, the fact that we're discussing it, maybe Komodo also was just a little bit unsure and just keeping it safe.
Didn't want to, risk it for the biscuit. Oh, that second pound. Wow. Mm-hmm. Nice awareness there. Had to use 2 pounds to confirm. And even covering the wall tech up B. I guess you really do want to go for wall tech side B if you can there, but it can be a tricky input. Sometimes you don't always go for it.
Whoa, KJH getting the grab there. I think Komodo was banking on the Sakurai and go, okay, calls out the wave dash back with the up smash.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. That's tricky because it's like, if Komodo happened to shield, KJH probably would have gotten rested.
Yeah, and I kind of felt like the shield was coming up. Like, I feel like I saw the
bing,
the little, like, a little flicker of the yellow from the third player shield. And as you may know, anytime you up smash a Puff shield, it's a rest out of shield if they execute correctly.
It is a pretty tight window,
yeah,
I will say.
It's a pretty tight window
I
for
will
sure.
say.
It is. But it's a risk that you have to be ready for if you go for those up smashes. KJH, I will say, is down. I feel like he's one of these players who has a really labbed out and, like, mapped out usage for when he wants to run up smash. Like, he was in the Plup Showdown last night playing against Magi. And in that matchup, and I think, by the way, Komodo's just going to run out of gas there.
Mm-hmm.
But KJH will literally run up and, like, in the Falco matchup, like, he'll like, kind of say to himself, okay, this is the laser pattern, for example, that this Falco's going to go for. So I'm going to run in at this timing and rip the up smash.
Yep. Yep.
And knowing that he does that against, and it's funny because when it doesn't work out, it can look kind of silly. Like, wow, you were going for an up smash there. Like, that was so, like, who do you think you are? Like, going for an up smash at that spot kind of thing. But then when it works, he looks like such a genius where it's like, wow, that was a really a counterplay you wouldn't see from anybody else.
And it's really big because it's like, okay, in the Falco example, you get like a big combo if you hit that up smash because Falco has to tech, you get a tech chase, blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. But then it's like next time now, Falco's afraid to laser there.
Right.
And there's so much that you can do off of that once you condition the Falco to do that. I think the same thing applies potentially to Jigglypuff. Look at that.
Yeah.
Komodo shielded, and then KJH got the grab. It's very possible that, honestly, Komodo was expecting the up smash because it's at that percentage, right?
Yeah.
So...
yeah, there's this kind of back and forth with the way the counterplay works there. And now he's doing a lot of, like, run-up shine there. Ooh, okay.
Wow, great grab from Komodo. Great DI from KJH, though.
Yeah. Komodo did kind of sit on that grab. I think with Puff, you really do want to throw as quickly as possible if you want to hope that they don't DI, right? Oh, looking for something there. I wonder if we'll see any of the Shine Land tech.
Mm-hmm.
Because in those spots where Puff Shield's on the platform, I know KJH has got to be thinking about it. One of the only Foxes that actually uses that specific technique. A very, very new thing.
I will say, if the Jigglypuff is just standing there, because I think that Shine Grab, whatever, it's like, you will catch people by surprise, but I don't think it's actually, like, frame positive or anything like that, right? Like, I think Jigglypuff could shield, drop, probably even, like, maybe even aerial?
Yeah, between the Shine and the Grab or whatever.
And like, maybe up smash, maybe grab if, like, the Fox is just, or if the Puff is just facing the Fox, so. But,
yeah, it is very likely. It is very likely.
That's the advantage of doing new stuff. People just aren't ready for it yet,
yeah.
So we'll see if we get it.
Definitely.
Oh, man, KJH doing his patented back hops. Look at that.
Yeah.
Very hard to deal with.
Oh, yeah, you get that extra little bit of drift, and wow, that was such a well-placed up air. Almost looking more comfortable here on Puff's counter pick than that neutral game.
KJH has always felt like, you know, like a very, like, tactics-based player, right? And so, like, Dreamland, I feel like you need a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's a big stage.
That's a good point. He got to get to set up, and I feel like when you give KJH room to set up and room to kind of, like, get into the position that he wants to be in, to sort of do the approach he wants to do, to be able to do the counterplay he wants to do, he gets really, really scary because he gets really, really comfortable. Look at that, scouting out the roll or the wave dash from Jigglypuff, like kind of just all over a lot of the common Jigglypuff options. To be honest with you, in some of these shield situations, something we were talking about with Mewtwo last night, or Hungrybox versus like with when Mewtwo was casting was like, HBox has started to work in a lot of up smash out of shield. Wow, the crouch and the up tilt.
Mm-hmm. That was big. I think that would have, well, Rest is not super in play, so maybe wouldn't have lost the stock. But yes, please go on.
Yeah, it's just like when you see a Fox who's so like all over the grounded options like spot dodge and roll, that's when the Jigglypuff can start to work in some up smash out of shield to catch the Fox off guard. Wow. All the up smashes going in KJH's way.
And that's tough because those are all just straight like behavioral ground game reads.
Yeah.
And as Jigglypuff, you really don't want the Fox to have a read on that because I feel like that's the biggest part of the matchup, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Puff is mostly safe, but then when she lands, it's like that's like when I feel like the game or the mix-up game actually begins. It's like, okay, are you waiting for the Puff to like crouch versus up tilt versus roll versus spot dodge versus jump, right?
You got to take advantage of. I mean, she's so good in the air, but when that Jigglypuff is on the ground, that's when she's going to be sort of weak. So right now, KJH is so clued into all that stuff. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So much up smash on the landing. Didn't get the hitbox that he needed for the kill, but all right, a little SD there. But I mean, it's still I mean,
it's a 2-stock lead.
So comfortable right now, yeah.
Oh, there's that up air.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing with that up air is like you can kind of well, yeah, just throw it out. It's not risky at all, honestly. So it's like, why not? Okay. 2-0 for KJH right now. Komodo probably going back to Dreamland unless, you know, they want to try something different. But yeah, I hear the Dreamland music. Okay, opens up with fall through platform. Fair. Get that nice 12%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a grab.
Yep. But the DI has been really on point. I think that, like, I know there's this element to that up throw where you can go for the up air or the pound, but I feel like Komodo's doing the short hop, like, a little bit late, and because he's doing it at the timing he's doing, KJH is realizing that, oh, you actually only have time to go for the pound, because you're not going to reach me if you go for the up air, so I only have to DI one way.
That is what it looks like to me as well. Now,
That's a rest, yeah.
That was a good rest because I think it was a little bit close on whether or not KJH would like maybe tech or land on the platform.
Yeah.
Whatever. So great recognition from Komodo there. Honestly, that was much needed because I think that's the first rest. And here we're going to have the second. I was going to say the second. Hold on. Okay. Komodo smartly DIing away from the top platform, knowing what KJH is capable of.
Yeah, very much so. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the spacing was just a hair off on that one, I guess, right? But that's still that's gotta be mental damage for Komodo. That's gotta be like, man, come on. I had it.
No, that absolutely sucks.
Adds insult to injury. But I mean, you know, that's part of being a competitor. You got to bounce back. And it's still Komodo's counter pick.
Oh, man. Having that happen when you're down 2-0, that's just really tough. You know, Komodo playing this next stock pretty well so far. It's still even in damage, but like, yeah, that it's just tough. Oh.
This is, oh, there's one. There's a clean one. Is this going to be a KO, though?
I think
Fox has
it
to run
might.
over.
I think it might.
Nope.
Barely not.
And
All
you know,
right.
I actually wonder if, because Wispy pushed Komodo, I love saying things like this, and then I need P-Test to tell me, like, no, it actually didn't matter at all. But anyway, Wispy pushing Komodo ever so slightly to the right, all the way to the edge of the Dreamland stage, that made KJH have to run over an extra bit further before he could start charging the up smash, which meant that KJH couldn't charge the up smash as much as he needed to get the KO.
I ran
So
the
Wispy
simulation.
actually saved Komodo there.
I ran the simulation in my
Maybe.
head. You are correct. I need data in my head, and it is that is
Beautiful.
exactly what happened.
Beautiful. Yeah, well, one way or another, Komodo needs to make some magic happen here. I mean, the thing is, even with these rests, the game plan itself has just been too strong from KJH. Like, the rests are punctuating what is otherwise just a really, really prepared Fox in
Look at
this
that.
matchup.
Fourth throw there.
You gotta appreciate it.
Maybe that fourth throw was a mix-up. I don't know if that that DI mix-up fourth throw up smash works on Jigglypuff, but maybe that's what KJH was going for, unless it was just like a tech error. But that
Ooh,
is going to be it.
wow. Mastery right there. That was a. I mean, yeah, you got some rests in there, and those definitely helped Komodo's case. But man, did KJH look good. I mean, that was just like so much. I mean, you know what? That to me, that's like preparation paying off. Because you saw all these little tactics, all these like clearly little lab like tricks. You had the backflip full hops, using that, because if you start your full hop or your jump in this game holding backwards, you actually get a completely different animation. Fox does a little backflip, right? Marth kind of does like a little he kind of pulls his body back differently, for
And
example.
it's so important.
And yeah, right. It really alters your jump arc and your trajectory, and you have to commit to that. Before you leave the ground. You can't kind of decide to do that once you're already in the air. And KJH really intentionally uses that extra little bit of altered trajectory to his advantage, and that's extra important in a matchup like Jigglypuff, where normally she's going to have